Hey everyone, back to you with another history class. The first one we did about Johann Sebastian Bach. The second one was about Ludwig van Beethoven. And this one will be about Frédéric Chopin. Chopin was born in 1810 in, I don't know how to pronounce it, Zielazowa Wola, Poland. So just remember, he was from Poland, he was born in Poland, and Frederick's father was a tutor for an aristocratic family, which back in that time would have been a very wealthy family that could afford to bring different people of employment on under their household. Chopin's mother was very proficient at the piano and actually taught Chopin before he started taking formal lessons. He was always listening to her play and always trying to copy what she was playing and reproduce it. Then at 6 years old, he was given formal lessons by Wojciech Zwieny. I'll put it here on the screen for you. Chopin performed publicly at a very young age. He would even perform for the Russian Tsar, Alexander I. At the age of 7, he also wrote his very first piece, Polonaise in G minor. He was trained in composition by Joseph Elsner at the conservatory in his hometown from ages 13 to 16 years old. After that, Chopin was mostly self-taught in piano. Joseph Elsner, said of Chopin when he graduated from the university at age 19 that Chopin had exceptional aptitude and was a musical genius. He began to outgrow many of the musical opportunities in his hometown, so his parents saved up enough money to send him to Vienna. He performed in concerts there and also attended lots of different concerts and operas. Chopin was planning on going on a tour in Europe, but about this time, Poland revolted against Russian rule. So instead of staying in Vienna, since he was making little money even, he decided to go to Paris. He moved to Paris when he was 21 years old, and he enjoyed getting to know lots of famous musicians and other singers in that time period. He organized his very first concert in Paris on February 25th, 1832, where he played his concerto in E major. Around this time, Chopin became friends with many other composers that are very famous to us today, one of them known as Franz Liszt, who was another rising pianist at that time. Though he was not widely accepted for concerts, which he actually detested playing for concerts anyway, he did perform for a lot of different wealthy families in the area, and he was also a fantastic teacher. Chopin was a top-notch pianist. However, some of his style and some of his pieces were very different from his contemporary musicians. It was the beginning of the Romantic period, as they were transitioning from the classical time period, which had much more simple and clean music, very pure in style, whereas his music was quite complex actually, and he experimented with many different types of chords and strange chords even, and he had a lot more of a freestyle, which is called rubato. Chopin had several women that he had fallen in love with and pursued. None of them actually ended up working out until he met Aurora Dudevant, or better known as George Sand. She was a novelist writer, and that was her pen name. Unfortunately, this relationship did not work out either. It did not last forever. They split up, and Chopin unfortunately became very unhappy after that breakup. Sadly, Chopin did not have the best health either. He suffered from a disease called tuberculosis, and the weather often had a pretty bad or good effect on his health. He continued to teach even through his ups and downs, and continued writing his music even though he had lots of health complications. Eventually, his health did get so bad and declined so much that he was no longer able to compose. In 1849, Chopin died at the age of 39 of poor health in Paris. Interestingly enough, his music became very popular after Chopin died. His music had almost a poetic-like melody that almost every nationality enjoyed. The themes like tragedy or national pride were often seen in his works. Some say hearing Chopin play the piano was like hearing someone sing on the piano. Critics often said that he had insight into the secret places of the heart. And this is why Chopin is known as the poet of the piano. Although Chopin died very young, he made a tremendous impact on our style of music, but also the romantic style of music back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Chopin composed a total of 61 mazurkas, 16 polonaises, 26 preludes, 27 etudes, 21 nocturnes, 20 waltzes, 3 sonatas, 4 ballads, 4 scherzos, and 4 impromptus, as well as 17 Polish songs. Although he died very young, Chopin left us with some amazingly beautiful piano works, and he made a tremendous impact on the Romantic period as well as our music today. I think Chopin actually said it best. He says, and I quote, "Bach is an astronomer, discovering the most marvelous stars. Beethoven challenges the universe. I only try to express the soul in the heart of man." And may we all play with our whole hearts, just like Chopin. Chopin was planning on going on a tour. Interestingly enough, the music. Interestingly enough,